friends, this is Ashton Kaylee, and this week we are looking at the Lukas Studio Gouache Set. This set is apparently a German brand, but it says it's produced in the United Kingdom. I'm not really familiar with it. I've not really ever seen this brand except for when I saw it on Jerry's Art-A-Rama. So this box here, it says that these are a fine opaque matte drying artist watercolor. Dries water-soluble, brilliant colors with exceptional covering power. Suitable for all types of absorbent and non-absorbent grounds such as paper, cardboard, canvas, etc. This set looks pretty basic as far as colors. You can see the red here is what you would probably think as a normal primary, but this set in particular, which I like, actually has true primaries. So it says primary yellow, primary blue on the cyan, and primary magenta. So I really appreciate that. As someone who's really into color mixing, knowing what your true primaries are is important. The rest of the colors are kind of a basic selection. It kind of makes me think of a landscape set. And this box comes with a tray here of 12 colors. These tubes are 12 milliliter size, and this plastic tray is kind of flimsy, which is not really a big deal. The tubes are pretty standard looking, a kind of foil like tube. And again, the box has the color information in a couple languages. And the tubes themselves have a little bit more information as far as what the color is, the transparency level, and the light fast rating. The box looks kind of retro, which I think is kind of neat, but not really a deal breaker. It's just kind of interesting to see products from other countries. And anyways, we're gonna lay these out on my palette. I have a ceramic palette here lined with some palette paper, just because I don't feel like cleaning it. And we'll get all of these colors on the tray. Oh, so these tubes are actually sealed and you have to puncture them. So on the cap you'll find a little puncture bit, and you can press that in to open it. Be careful or you'll make a mess like me. We'll just lay those out. There's my kitty. Alright, so one thing I'm noticing as I lay these out that is actually quite a big disappointment, if you notice here, once you puncture them and start applying, you can see I've applied very little paint to my palette, and these tubes actually look like I've already used a third or more of the tube. That feels like such a dishonest thing, like you're not really getting what you should. Anyways, we're gonna start here on our swatch with the white. And I'm trying to swatch these using little to no water so we can get a good accurate feel for them. The consistency is a little bit thinner than I expected. The vibrancy seems okay as far as the color load. The yellow the primary yellow I thought was kind of weak, but the cad yellow is a bit better. This is magenta here. And then our cad red deep, I should say. And then our violet bluish. A lot of sets don't come with purple. That's kind of an interesting choice to include. And then we have our cyan blue. It doesn't look that cyan to me either. It looks more like cerulean. But with gouache and then being opaque, the color might look a little bit different. It's really not as cyan looking as my Holbein, but it's a different brand. Next we have the Ultramarine Blue and a permanent green deep. Our yellow ochre. Burnt sienna. And ivory black. They look okay to me. Coverage looks fine. I actually forgot to lay down my black lines like I usually do to really see how opaque they are. They don't look super opaque. Again, they seem vibrant in color, but not highly pigmented. They're really not that thick. So anyways, on to our demo piece. Gouache is not my preferred medium, but I think it's a lot of fun, and just laying out the background with them, they're not quite moving and mixing as well as I would have hoped on the paper, but I am using hot press paper, so to be fair, I probably didn't choose the best methods to cover it. And just going over with extra layers, you can see like the yellows and the greens, they're really not that opaque. Even adding a little bit of white to them, it dulls out the color but doesn't make them any more opaque really, as it should. So the piece actually doesn't look like I am using all the colors on the palette, but I actually am. When I run out of some of the brown, I mixed some of it using the colors on the palette first before pouring out more, so I could use up what I have and see how they actually mix. Mixing with them has been okay. No real complaints. They're working okay overall. I would say that they are an alright option for a beginner who doesn't want to invest in a pricey set. But truly, honestly, as many people have suggested, if you can just wait a little bit longer and save up for something just a little bit more, you should probably go that route, because if you learn characteristics of some quality or less than quality products, it can be a little bit deceiving and you might not like the experience and give up on a new medium when really it was just your supplies. This set here, I would say, is better than the brand Reeves as far as gouache, but not better than the other ones I have reviewed. I have used the Arteza gouache, which I thought were slightly better than this, and the tubes actually feel more full. Color mixing with the Arteza I didn't find to be great with all colors, but overall it was not bad. If you wanted to compare them to some more expensive sets like the Holbein, I have reviewed the Holbein 5 designer gouache set, and those were quite a bit more. They're probably the most expensive ones I've reviewed, at around $35 for 5 tubes. Those tubes are considerably larger, much more pigmented, and definitely something worth saving for. If you want to go a bit, I wouldn't say below that, but a different option for you around the same price, you could try the Caran d'Ache, which I have reviewed before, and those come in dry form in a palette of 15. And that way you can actually try a bunch of colors. I really like that set. I like and appreciate that they come in the pans because they are very easy to reactivate and the layout is just great. You get a lot of similar colors and a really great painting experience with those. So overall, I would say that these were quite a bit of a disappointment in my honest opinion. As you can see here, I'm laying down some dark leaves, and a little bit I actually try to layer on some lighter color leaves. In normal situations with thick paint as I was using, you would expect to get much more coverage, much more opacity with them. When I go in for the light leaves, I actually had a lot of trouble, even though I added white, more yellow, and some of that blue to try to get a good opaque mix of a lighter green. It didn't really cover as I would have hoped or expected. And these are, I guess, okay for experimentation, but if you're really looking to get into a new medium, I think you should really just save up a little bit more and go for the better option. These I did pick up on sale from Jerry's Autorama. This set of 12 was only about $10, but regular price I saw that can go up to $20 for this set. Or if you got the bigger tubes, it can go up to $40, just depending on when you buy it. In the States, I didn't see them available from any other retailers. So if you can get a better price, maybe they'd be worth checking out for you, but I honestly don't think so. I would probably give these a C, passing, but not really a desirable grade. So there it is. There's my little sample here. I hope this was helpful for you. This was not my favorite of the gouache sets. It's probably my least favorite of the 4 I've done so far. And let me know your thoughts. If you want me to check out anything in particular, I'm always open to that. I like to experiment with paints, of course, and overdo it on art supplies. So y'all take care. I will see you next week. Stay happy, healthy, and continue making some art. It's good for you.